So some of you might be wondering, am I watching the right channel? Not only do we have a brand new topic that I've never done in this channel before, which is European football, or just, like sports in general, Roger here has been transferred. As you see, we've got a new setup here. Have a little blackboard to go along with kind of like the blackboard theme of this channel. And by this title, you know that we are going to be talking about Chelsea FC today. The reason for this is because I got messages on my social media over the past like 2 or 3 days that Chelsea had won the Champions League, which apparently is like the best that you can do in Europe. I, for one, know absolutely nothing about European football or soccer in general, really, as we call it over here. I grew up playing softball and basketball, with basketball being the main sport that I was really good at. I know I may not look like much of an athlete, but I actually am pretty good at sports. With that said, I really enjoy watching sports. For me, it's just a lot of fun getting into like the spirit of your team and the competition, and it just kind of like gives you something to get excited about. And I've heard that European football fans are super passionate, and apparently it's like the main sport for most of the world. Here in the States, soccer, or football as you guys call it over there, isn't really the biggest sport. I would definitely say that like our American version of football and baseball and basketball definitely trump soccer by a long shot. And I don't want to insult you guys by calling it soccer, it's just that's what we call it over here because we have our own version of football, and it's just weird to say football, but to you guys it's just football. So I will try to refer to it in the term that you guys are used to. But when it comes to like football slash soccer, I really don't know the rules. I don't know how the game works. I just never was into it growing up. My brothers played soccer and I would like go to their games. I know that there's a position called like guard. I know there's a goalie. I know the object of the game is to get the ball into the goal, and whoever gets the most goals at the end wins. But other than that, I really have no idea how the game is played. And I've never really watched European football. I've seen clips here or there just like in passing with like sports compilations and stuff, but I've never actually watched a real game before. And when it comes to teams in European football, I know about Chelsea now only because they won this Champions League, which I don't know what that is actually. I hear there's a Premier League and there's a Champions League. I don't know what that means or what the difference is between them. I have heard of Manchester United before. I've heard of David Beckham before. And I know about the Tottenham Hotspurs only because one of my favorite actresses is like a huge fan and she just talks about them non-stop all the time. But I did look up Chelsea here. I see that they have been is FC mean football club? Is that what that means? That's probably a really stupid question. But you guys call them clubs, right? Over there instead of like teams. Do you call them teams too? Franchises? I don't know. I think we would just call them like franchises over here with our sports. But anyway, I looked up Chelsea. It looks like that they were founded in like 1905, which goes way back. I wasn't really sure when European football was founded, like how long it's been around. I know the sport's been around for a really long time, but I don't know like on the professional level when all of your teams kind of organized and formed these leagues. But 1905 goes back a pretty good ways, so that's kind of impressive. And I see that they're located in London as well, so that's kind of like their home base. And I also saw that the only other time that they won the Champions League was back in 2012, so this is only their second time in the history of their football club that they've won this. Now, since I am so ignorant about European football, it's probably best if I would like watch a more generic video about like how it all works, which I'm going to do. But just because Chelsea won this past Champions League, I kind of want to like see what it's all about. Like I want to see what the excitement was about. I want to see what this team is like, because I feel like I just totally missed out on this like huge world event that I had no idea was even going on. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to go back and we're going to watch this video. It looks like it's kind of like a road up to their championship. Hopefully I will get something out of this video, get a better idea for the sport and the culture around it as well. So if I have questions, I will definitely ask during the video, and as always, I appreciate you guys answering my questions down in the comments. Another reason that we're doing this today is because I would like to start devoting Saturdays to just like fun stuff like comedy and sports, stuff like that, because generally my channel goes the more serious academic route. We do a lot of history and stuff, which requires some thinking, you know? So it would be nice to also kind of balance that out a little bit with something that you can just kind of relax and enjoy and not have to do too much like academic thinking. So that's what Saturdays are going to be for on this channel. So anyway, I think we're just going to jump in and watch this. This is going to be kind of like the longest I've ever paid any attention to European football with this video, because literally I've just seen like seconds here or there, like little snippets of it. So I've never like sat down and given it like my undivided attention and watched it. All right, so let's go. Chelsea, Sevilla FC, Stamford Bridge. Is this in London? Because that's the Ferris wheel, right? I will say, I always thought it was kind of cool that the goalies wear a different color than the rest of their team.
And the referee blows the final whistle, a point apiece between Frank Lampard and Julian.
Okay, so Sevilla's a team. Okay. Krasnodar, Chelsea, Arena, Krasnodar. Is Krasnodar a team? Krasnodar, however you say it.
Here he goes. With the hop, the skip, it hit the post.
Oh my gosh, that was lucky.
Callum Hudson-Odoi through the goalkeeper and in. Chelsea finally pierced through.
What's the pink uniform? Like, our teams over here
Who makes no mistake.
will wear pink uniforms in honor of like breast cancer awareness. Is that
Chelsea home and dry. 2000.
Is that what they're wearing them for, or is it just like a different color of their uniform? Whoa, that went through his legs?
That is pretty well utopian. Chelsea have robbed it in Russia.
Oh, they're in Russia. Okay, Chelsea, Stade Rennais, Stamford Bridge. What is the Stamford Bridge that it keeps saying? Is that a...
So up steps Werner and scores, despite the fact that Gomez got a piece of it on the way in. And he rattles this one into the top corner. Brilliant penalty. Chelsea lead 2-0.
There's really no way to defend that, is there?
Through the ball, great finish, Abraham. Typical striker.
Rennes. Where's Rennes? Or is that the short for Rennais? Or wait, where are they playing? Stade Rennais, Chelsea, Rosen Park, Stade Rennais. Is that a I don't know what these things are. Obviously Chelsea. I know what Chelsea is. Stade Rennais. Is that another team? Rosen Park. Is that where they're playing? Is this in London? Because it looks like London, sort of.
Space was found. Hudson-Odoi, what a glorious ball. Hudson-Odoi, 1-0 Chelsea. Glorious goal that really. Set up by Mason Mount and taken by Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Oh! Was that a... Wait a second. Was that a pass? That was like a play from inbound. So is that like what they do? They try to, is that like, I guess on purpose? Like that's an actual play that you do, like an inbound play, I'm assuming? Because that is hard. Like the main reason I haven't played soccer is because, I don't know, like it just, kicking the ball with my feet is not as much fun as like throwing it, you know, and stuff. And there's just like a ton of running around, I feel like, and kicking the ball around with nothing happening. That's the way I've always felt about soccer, was it was just a bunch of running up and down, kicking the ball around, and nothing really happens. Every once in a while they'll score a goal, but it's like so infrequent that it's just, I've always just kind of been more bored watching soccer. But I think that's probably because I just don't understand what's going on. Like, to me, it just looks like a bunch of running around. But I suppose to people who really know the sport well, there's a lot of intricacies going on with defense and offense, which I don't think you guys call it necessarily defense and offense. Don't you guys call it like attack and counterattack or something like that? I used to kind of feel the way about American football until I really got into learning how plays are run and the different positions and what they do and stuff. So I feel like it's probably the same thing with this. Like if I actually learned how the game works and kind of understood what was going on the field, it would be less boring maybe. But when I have tried to like play soccer in the past, it's just, I find it really hard. Like it's really hard for me to kick the ball and have it go in the direction that I wanted it to go into. So these guys, you know, what they're doing is not easy. It takes a ton of practice to be able to kick the ball, because I feel like you have way less control over it with your feet than you do with your hands. And it plays like that where they kick it inbounds right to the guy and he does it, you know, head bumps it in. I don't know what you call that. It's probably like a specific move that you call it. Like it looked to me like that was just like, he was literally just like passing it to him. And that was a drawn up play inbounds. It probably happens a lot, you know, it's probably like a standard inbound play. I don't know. But that's really that's really impressive to me that they could do that with their feet and their heads. Like you just have so little control over the ball, I feel like, you know, compared to like when you can maneuver it with your hands. Man.
Big save from Gomes. And then Giroud, though, to finish it off for Chelsea.
Wait a second, did he punch that?
Oh, to finish it off for Chelsea. From Gomes. And then Giroud, though,
okay, so Chelsea's in the white.
For Chelsea.
Okay. Yeah, he's pretty devastated. So what happens when these games are draws? Like nobody wins, it's just a tie score. Does it count as a win or I don't know. Sevilla FC Chelsea, Estadio Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. And what is this circular building right here too? That's really interesting. This sounds Spanish, so I'm assuming we're in Spain here. Sevilla FC, Sevilla. That's another team. This is like the third time I've seen it, or second time. Sevilla Football Club. So that must be like a Spanish football club, Sevilla then, right? They're playing Chelsea at Estadio Stadium Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. So they're playing in Spain. Is that right? Oh, they've got a Ferris wheel too.
Rolled in for Olivier Giroud, who scores for Chelsea.
How big are these goals? Because that looks like... It looks like it would be so easy just to kick the ball. Like, after I just said how hard it is to have control over the ball. Because it is. But what I mean is... The goals look so huge, though. You have such a wide area in which you can kick it around the goalie, it seems like. Those... I don't know, how big are the goals? They look about 10 feet tall or so. And I know you guys don't do feet over in Europe, but they look maybe about 20 feet wide to me. That's a huge area to defend for a goalie. So let me know how big the goals are. And also, do they try to get like the biggest guys to be the goalies so that they cover more area? How does that work? And also, how do the goalies determine what color that they wear? Because it seems like every game they're wearing a different... Well, the teams are all wearing different colors too, but how does the goalie... Do they just like pick whatever color they want to wear that day?
Good start. You just felt it was coming. Olivier Giroud, how smart is that?
See, there's a tactic there that I probably
And he is full of it.
clues with. Oh, soccer players do that a lot. I see where they like
So by contact,
slide on their knees.
a flashing near post.
Also, when do you do those? Are these penalty kicks that they're doing as well? So if the other team gets a penalty, you get a free kick like that? Is that how it works? Chelsea, Krasnodar, Stamford Bridge. Okay. What I'm getting from this is Stamford Bridge is Chelsea Stadium. Is that right? It's called Stamford Bridge. And where is Krasnodar? I mean, he didn't even he didn't even try on that one. Chelsea won.
Yeah, I think we can be happy. Of course, it's a draw today, but I think we played a good match.
Draw,
we had
okay.
a lot of changes in the team, a lot of new players in the team. So, of course, it was difficult for us, but I think we give our best and we played a good game.
Okay, so he just said it was a draw. So that tells me that you guys let draws stand because we don't do that over here. In our sports, somebody has to win the game. So how does that work in your win-loss column? How do you categorize a draw in that situation? Okay, we must be in London. I recognize this architecture. Neo-Gothic is what you guys told me it was called. Round of 16. Okay. We're in a tournament of some... Is that the Champions League? Is that what that is? Because over here we have something called March Madness for college basketball every year. And it starts with 64 or 68 teams and it goes down to, you know, your final two. But when you get down to like the meat and potatoes of it, you have the Sweet 16, which are the 16, you know, final teams. Then the Elite 8, Final 4, and then you have your final. So I'm assuming that's kind of what this is right here. So you've got 16 teams that are playing for the final. Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Wanda, Metropolitano. So I'm assuming they're in Madrid or Spain. Oh my gosh. I've seen those kicks before. Those are freaking impressive. You're putting your body on the line when you do those kicks because you just fall back. I mean, I'm assuming that they teach you, because I've seen, like I said, I've seen those kicks before, so I know that that's like something that happens on a fairly regular basis, I guess. I know in basketball, they teach you when you're going to fall, they teach you how to fall to minimize the impact and minimize injury. So I'm assuming for something like that, that there is a particular way for you to fall back while you're, you know, kicking it like that to help minimize injury. Because otherwise you're just landing on your back and it looks like you could break your neck doing that. I think that regular kicks are impressive just because I've tried it before and it's really hard. I can't imagine what doing something like that, like how much practice that takes. Chelsea, Atletico Madrid, Stamford Bridge. Okay, we're back in London. That's a cool what ship is that? That's like an old-fashioned ship right there. You don't see those these days. At least not over here you don't. Is that like a normal thing over there? I'm assuming we're in downtown London here. Looks like, is this the River Thames? You guys call it Thames, right? Thames. Stamford Bridge, we're back at Chelsea Stadium, Atletico Madrid. So Madrid, we're swapping stadiums locations, which we do that over here too. We, you know, have like home and away games and the teams swap a lot. So Madrid's football club, I don't know, are they called a football club? Because they don't have FC after it. They're playing at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea Stadium here. Okay, that can't be legal, right?
Werner on the move for Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech, there's the goal they wanted. And Hakim Ziyech, the summer signing from Ajax, delivers when it matters in the Champions League. Chelsea double their lead on a swift counter-attacking move.
Oh. You know, the refs, they have bright neon uniforms. That's different. That's very different. Ours over here tend to just have like the black and like the zebra stripes, basically. But these guys have bright neon. And he's doing a red card. So I'm assuming that's a foul, right? Somebody's committed a foul. What happens in that situation? Do they get to, do they get like a free kick at that point?
Plays it on now to Emerson. Wow, what an introduction that is. First time he's touched the ball, having come off the bench, and he smashes
knee slide
in to make sure.
Does that not hurt your knees? That seems like it would hurt.
The amount of effort and intensity, the teamwork in both legs was fantastic and really incredible and outstanding. We missed 4 key players today, 4 or 5 key players, 4 of them always ready to start with Andreas, Thiago, Mason and Jorginho. Everybody else stepped up. We had huge support from the bench, huge support from the stands, the guys who were injured and not here, and this is what I feel. Guys totally reliable. The effort and intensity is incredible. It's hard teamwork. And I'm very, very happy because we have moments where we are excellent with the ball, but we never lose intensity against the ball. We play very brave and very courage in defending and adapt to any system that the opponents played today. So over 2 legs is a deserved win, which is a big win because it's the quarter final. And yeah, I'm super happy for my players.
Okay, so that's the coach of, or I know you guys don't call them coaches, do you? You call them managers, is that right? So this, the manager, I'm assuming is a manager / coach. He's from a different country. Is he French? Because it looked like there were some French subtitles there. Also, the other guy that they interviewed was definitely not from England either. So is that really common for there to be a lot of international players playing on various teams, like a lot of players from other countries playing? Because if so, that's really interesting, because obviously over here in the US, we have some international players here or there, but by and large, they're all American. Particularly the coaches, like I don't even know of an international coach in any of our sports, although I'm sure there probably are some. Like I can't believe we have so many teams across so many sports that there has to be like a coach from another country somewhere, but I just can't think of one off the top of my head. So that's way different to our sports over here. So how common is that for there to be players from other countries on your team? That's so cool. London, you look so cool downtown. That is. You guys have crazy architecture with the buildings in the background, the London Bridge here on the river, mixed in with like this older architecture, these boats everywhere. I mean, it's just, it looks so cool. I'm assuming that's the London Bridge, right? Quarterfinals, right? FC Porto, Chelsea, Estadio do Dragao. I have no idea where this is. It's not in London, though. I can tell you that. FC Porto. So Porto. Sounds Spanish, but I don't...
It's a lovely turn by Mason Mount, and that's the goal that Chelsea wanted. And it's the first goal in the Champions League for Mason Mount. And what a time to score it. Porto 0, Chelsea 1.
That's like a signature soccer move, the knee slide, huh? See, there was that same out of bounds play where they tried to get it and then headbutted into the goal. That one didn't work though. So I'm assuming that's just like a very common inbounds play. Yeah, the pushing them over, that's not allowed, right? Uh-oh. Wait a second, what is the goalie doing way out here? I thought the goalie had to stay within this first box of the goal right here. I didn't know, like, I don't know what these lines mean right here. So you have the first little box by the goal, and then you have this much bigger one around it, and then you have the curve right there. No idea what those lines are there for. Obviously it looks like the goalie's allowed to go. I just thought that they had to stay inside that first box, but he's obviously not. He's way out here. Does it matter like where the ball is? So if the ball is like at a certain point on the field, they're allowed to come out further? Is that how it works? You guys are gonna have to explain that to me. It was a bad move for him to come out though. That's for sure. He got right around him. Okay, so FC Porto is at Stamford Bridge playing Chelsea now. Oh, he's not happy.
Nanu delivers the ball in. Oh, hello.
Oh my gosh. Like, that to me is just insane. I mean, he deliberately was aiming right for that corner. It was perfect. Just a perfect... Like, how do you have that much control over with your feet? It's just mind-boggling to me. Like, I mean, obviously it's possible. It's just a lot of practice. But, man... To me, that's hard enough to do just facing the goal. But to do, like, a backwards kick like that and then you're falling... I want to see how he falls, too.
Nanu delivers the ball in. Oh, hello.
I mean, he falls with his back curved, like, I mean, to me, that's like, I mean, that could just snap. And like, how have people gotten seriously injured from doing those types of kicks before? Because it looks like it would be easy to be. Scarlet. If you haven't noticed, Scarlett's in the room. Come say hi. Yes, say hi. Say hi. Yes. She's being very, very patient right now. She would love to be outside chasing the squirrels, but she's inside with me instead doing this. We're not doing that. Yeah. Alright, anyway, back to this.
Mediterranean, what a goal that is! Well, well, well. Chelsea aren't quite over the line.
Semifinals. Okay, so how many teams are left in the semifinals? Real Madrid. Oh, I've heard of Real Madrid before. I've heard that they are a bit infatuated with themselves, for lack of a better description. Chelsea Estadio Alfredo Di Stefano. That sounds Italian, but okay. They're obviously not in London, so are they back in Spain? Or is this Italy? That looks like a small stadium, which surprises me.
It's up there with him. It's Christian Pulisic. He's away from Courtois. He scores! What a start for Chelsea! A goal in the semi-final inside 14 minutes, and Christian Pulisic gets it for them. Marcelo. It's Benzema's chance, and there's the
Whoa! Now that one was extra impressive. The other ones were impressive, but that one, just because of the speed, it was like a line drive with his foot. Oh my gosh, I gotta see that again.
Marcelo.
And not only that, he like juggled it before he did it. So he like had to put the ball in the position where he could do it. What in the world? Okay, I gotta put this on slow-mo because I want to see it. He did it so fast, it's like hard to see what he did. So head, and then just right where he needed it. It's like almost like a sideways. That's. You know what? I feel like I haven't given soccer or football players enough credit. I mean, it takes super skill to do stuff like that, to get it right where. I mean, and not only that, he's in the middle of a bunch of guys who could interfere. Like, it's. Oh, it's raining. Man, it's coming down too. There's that play from the corner. Well, did it hit that guy in the face? Oh, yeah. What happens to is the ball extra slippery in the rains where it makes it harder to kick or handle at all? Or I mean, I'm sure it also affects the field, because I know in football over here, they play in the rain a lot, and the field gets a lot, much slipperier, and so you see people like falling and stuff. And of course, with the football, it gets very slippery because you're handling it with your hands instead of your feet. So I don't know if it's different, hands versus feet, but I would imagine it does kind of like make the ball a little bit harder to, I don't know, handle maybe. Okay, so swapping stadiums back in Stamford Bridge in London. What is Stamford Bridge named after? Is there like a bridge close by? It's called Stamford, or... Sorry, you know what? I need to deal with the dog. Whoa, what happened to the goalie? He just lose. Wait, I don't understand this. Okay. Why is the goalie all the way out here in the middle of everybody? Why is he not back by the goal where he's supposed to be? That makes no sense. Was he, I don't know, maybe this guy on the far left over here, the Chelsea guy, was late getting to that position, and so he had to like come up and defend against this guy to, you know, maybe that's why. That's probably a pretty brilliant like offensive tactic to draw the goalie out. I'm assuming that's a tactic that you do to draw the goalie out to try to get him away from the goal. I mean, that's too easy, right?
There's the follow-up, and this time it does count. This time it is a Timo Werner goal in the Champions League, and this time Chelsea do score. Chelsea 1, Real Madrid 0, Timo Werner. And finally it's in, and it's scored by Mason Mount, who's Chelsea through and
Knee slide.
who's come through the academy and he's just scored the goal. It's because he's going to blow the full-time whistle, and Chelsea are on their way to Istanbul.
Istanbul,
The Blues are
wow.
back in the Champions League final for the first time in 9 years, and they'll face Manchester City.
Manchester City. Is Manchester City the same as Manchester United, or is that two different things? Final. So we got a lot of people here. This is in Istanbul, right? Manchester City. Estadio do Dragao? Why do all of these stadium names sound Spanish, but they're not in Spain? Oh. A lot of misses going on here. How big is the stadium? It doesn't look huge. It's like it might hold, I mean, of course it's hard to see like how big it is for these clips, but it looks like maybe...
Pocket of space, Anderson came and didn't get there. Chance for Chelsea! Goal for Chelsea! Kai Havertz in the Champions League final! Anderson couldn't get there!
It's like maybe 50,000 capacity.
And a man they paid a lot of money for last summer!
Maybe 60,000. I know how he feels. I've you know, obviously nothing on this scale, but I've been in like championship games in like national tournaments and stuff, and you lose and it's just like gut-wrenching. It's awful.
Blue is the colour in Porto tonight, and Chelsea are on top of the world.
Hope those are happy tears. Knee slide. Who started the knee slide? Will they get medals on top of the trophy too? Wow. There's a lot of emotion. A lot of emotion involved in this, isn't there? Oh, whoa, that guy's wearing a New York Yankees hat. That's cool that they take selfies with the fans and stuff too. How many players are on a soccer team? Are these the kids? Are these the players as kids? Is that what this is? Alright, wow, what an experience that is. Like my first real look at European football. I know I had just a ton of questions trying to figure out what was going on, like where they were playing, what the different team names were, what some of the rules were. There's a lot to it I think that I didn't see in this, in particular like the fan involvement, because again, like I hear it just gets crazy over there. Obviously this happened during the pandemic, so there weren't a lot of fans in the stadium. The other thing that just hit me really hard watching this was how international it is, and to you guys that's like a really dumb thing to say, because of course it is. It's teams from other countries. You guys play, I'm sure like there are teams within the same country that play each other as well, but there's a lot of international play. You guys are used to playing teams from other countries, which is totally different than it is over here. Because the US is basically the size of Europe, we just play American teams. And our sports tend to be pretty much just confined to America or the United States. But it's just very different. Like, I think that might be one reason why Europeans feel way more in touch with the rest of the world than Americans do, is because you guys have sports like this. Like, this is a huge part of your culture, playing other teams from other countries, and you get that exposure around the world, whereas in the United States, we pretty much just stay to ourselves over here. So we don't get that like international exposure like you guys do. So I think that that's a really interesting cultural difference between the US and the rest of the world. And it's also like a big, huge sports difference too, because it just sounds like you guys are very used to swapping a lot of international players and stuff. So to you, it would be weird to just confine your sports to like one country and you only play the teams within your own country. Although maybe you have leagues like that. Like I know the UK probably has a ton of football clubs, right, that you guys just play each other in, you know, but then you branch out and you play these other teams from around the world. So that was just kind of like an unexpected little aspect of this. I went into it just like thinking it was going to be about football itself, but then I just kind of started noticing these cultural differences as well that I wanted to point out. So anyway, maybe I will learn to enjoy soccer / football, but I'm willing to give it a shot and learn more about the sport and about the teams, and maybe I could get more into it and just learn more about the European culture as well, because that's what this channel is about expanding my horizons, learning more about what's outside the United States, and also a little bit about what's in the US, because, you know, I don't know everything about our own country and our own history. I did see on here a video that is for Americans, you know, explaining how European football works, so I'm probably going to do that. But if there are other videos that would be good for me to watch to kind of learn more about this, maybe other sports too, like cricket or rugby, or somebody posted on my Facebook group something about a weird, like, twist on pool or something. I forgot what it was called. It's called like snooker or something. I don't know. That's probably not right. But I think it would be a nice little balance on this channel to kind of like get into sports a little bit and have more of that fun type stuff going on. But don't worry, we're still going to do plenty of like the history and stuff like that. I'm not abandoning that by any means. It's just that I would like to do some stuff like this as well. So if you can answer my questions down in the comments, please do that. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure that you like and subscribe. We're gonna have more like this coming your way. Roger here, and I thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.